why our next story is interesting. A few weeks ago, I covered a topic regarding Street Fighter 6. It was actually about a month ago at this point now, I think. And the topic was this. I felt that Street Fighter 6 was being ruined because too many people in the modern day rush to the internet and share the meta of these fighting games right away. And because they do, there is no actual time frame when people have discovery, where they play the game and they learn it at their own pace, and different people discover different things and play differently. And then those strategies are refined through competition. Instead, everything about a game is known within the first few weeks. The meta is discovered, and then these characters just aren't interesting anymore. Notably, Mai Shiranui, when she first came out, no one knew what to do with her for a couple of days. But then within a few days, all the breakdown videos were online, all the footage was online, and therefore the character just wasn't that interesting anymore. Okay? At that time, I started a discussion. And I said, did you notice that basically with these fighting games today, there is no real originality? It's not like when you're playing a fighting game back in the day, once one person would pick Ryu, and their gameplay style with Ryu in Street Fighter 2 would be, I'm keeping away. I'm just going to pelt you with fireballs, and I'm going to uppercut with a Shoryuken when you jump, and I'm going to try to sweep, and that's it. I'll keep you away. That's my Ryu gameplay. But then someone else would pick Ryu, and that Ryu would actually do mid-range footsies, strategies, try to mix you up, do combos, all right? And then another person would pick Ryu, and they'd have another unique strategy, okay? So you would play old-school fighting games, and they would all feel completely unique and different depending on who you were playing. A one Chun-Li would be rush down, constantly trying to hit you and throw you into throw loops. Another Chun-Li would be complete keep away with fireballs and her up kicks. And it felt great because of that. Fighting games felt interesting, different, unique, and fresh. You would go to a tournament and play someone and you'd be like, wow, I've never experienced what I just saw before, and I learned something. So your trip out to the tournament felt like it was worth it because you would actually learn. Today, these games have been so dumbed down, and they're so easy to play with absolutely no skill required to do any of the combos or moves. They're all easy mode shit. There's no actual practice really required outside of sitting in the lab for an hour or two. You've learned everything. And with everyone posting all of the meta strategies online right away, the era of discovery is gone. The era of individuality has left the building. Why is it that every time that we play Street Fighter 6 and we face a Cammy, a Jury, a JP, it always feels like you're fighting exactly the same person. Despite the fact you're not, you're actually fighting the same strategies, the same stuff over and over. The game's been designed that way. Okay? This is a major problem in my opinion. This is why people are bored of playing games like Street Fighter 6. And saying, wow, this game sucks. Mai came out, the game was refreshed for 2-3 weeks, and now no one cares about Street Fighter 6 anymore. It's like, who cares? When's Elena coming out? The next DLC character. Jeez, right? So, at the time that I was talking about this, Button Check, who is a online content creator on YouTube who covers fighting games, actually picked up the story and actually covered a video or two of mine where I talked about it, and we kind of went back and forth a little bit about the discussion. And where we ended the discussion was simple. The end of the discussion was thus. DSP is saying this now, but no one wants to ever listen to DSP. Everyone wants to turn DSP into the butt of a joke. No one likes him, right? Especially in the fighting game community, even though, as you guys know, I'm literally not a part of the fighting game community. I don't go to tournaments. I don't play games competitively. So why on earth does anyone in the fighting game community have a grudge against me? I have no fucking clue. I have not been a part of the FGC for literally, like, I would argue, 15 years. Like, the last time I cared about competitive Street Fighter was probably around the era of Street Fighter 4. So why anyone in the FGC gives two shits and doesn't like me and has a grudge against me and what I have to say, I don't know. Why people would say, oh, it's DSP, write him off, I don't know. I mean, I was back there in the formative years of Street Fighter, grinding it out in arcades, playing in tournaments, running tournaments. The track record is there and the history is there. But just because I'm DSP, apparently I'm not supposed to be paying attention. Right? Or, no, don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Fine. So anyway, we had the discussion, all right, that back when Street Fighter 5 came out, within the first few months of the game out, I highly criticized the game. And I said, listen, this game is not good. It's too flowcharty. The connections online are awful. The game is not a competitive, fun game. It doesn't hold a candle to previous Street Fighters. It's the worst one ever. Everyone yelled at me, panned me. How dare he say that? Because this was the big new fighting game and you're supposed to be hyped for it, right? Within 2 years, everyone agreed with me. And when Street Fighter V was retired for Street Fighter VI, almost every pro came out saying, yeah, this game was actually quite bad. Street Fighter VI is better. I was there saying it at first. No one wanted to listen. But now it's actually the popular opinion. So here we are in Street Fighter VI. Okay? And I'm saying this game, sadly, is too easy to play. People are exposing the meta too early online. It's ruining the game. It's making it stagnant. It's making it boring. And it's making it that every time you fight a person, it doesn't feel unique. You're fighting the same bot, the same pattern. You're not fighting that person in the unique flair of gameplay. It's just, how do I perform the flowchart better than the next person to win easily, right? So, I say this, and Button Check actually said it in his content. Is it that because DSP is saying it, that no one will listen? Do people actually agree with this sentiment? But because DSP says it, it doesn't matter. And then in 2-3 years, all of a sudden, everyone else will say it publicly and agree. Well, it's happening faster than you thought. Because, ladies and gentlemen, pros and or former pros are starting to now step up and criticize Street Fighter VI in a way that I feel like they should. And I'm glad that people are finally having balls to do so. And in fact, the person who I'm highlighting today is not only one of the best Street Fighter players of all time in the United States, but also is well regarded as someone who knows his shit when he talks about games. The person I'm talking about is a person who I used to actually play against and run tournaments in and for back in the day, Sanford Kelly. One of the best Marvel 2 players of all time, if not arguably the best Marvel Play 2 of all time. Maybe you could say Justin Wong was better, Yipes was better, but he's definitely up there, right? So here's what he had to say about Street Fighter in the modern era, okay? Street Fighter 4 was very special to me because of the skill and mastery. I miss watching Street Fighter streams and seeing character-specific combos and trades into stuff. The execution and reactions people had were insane to play against and watch. I miss that era of Street Fighter. Gee, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar to anyone? It kind of sounds like what I was saying. That essentially, Street Fighter now is boring. Because no one plays individually. No one thinks for themselves. There's no era of discovery. Everyone just knows the meta within 2 weeks, copies each other. And now when you go to a tournament or you watch a tournament, it's boring as shit. There's no individuality. He's absolutely right. In Street Fighter 4, there was character-specific setups. There was actually, this person's so good with this character, they've mastered the game and now play it differently than someone else and can kick ass. They can pick a low-tier character and dominate with the low tier. Let's read some of the supplies. Some of the replies. Yeah, man, me too. I'm just looking at a match and immediately knowing who is playing simply because of their play style. Street Fighter 4 era was a special time. In terms of gameplay, I didn't even need to be able to play like the pros to follow streams and tournaments. All I needed was to play the game myself to understand what I'm watching. So dumbing down Street Fighter 5 and 6 for casual still hurt my interest in the games. Street Fighter 4 having Chun played by multiple people, you could feel the style each had. Each played her differently. Street Fighter 6, you can't tell one Akuma or Ken apart from the other. Gee, it seems like people agree with me. Except because Sanford said it, now it's cool. But when DSP said it a month ago, oh, fuck DSP, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I know a lot of people feel the same way you do. The same people should put in work to try to keep the game alive. My personal favorite set, it shows a Seth set. Crazy part is it's literally just nostalgia goggles. The games are as exciting to watch, if not more, than they've ever been. We're just getting older and things aren't as fun as they used to be. Wrong. You're a child. You're actually a child. You weren't around during the era when Street Fighter was exciting. Now you watch a tournament and it's boring. Back then it used to be, oh my God, are you telling me this top level person's going to face this top level person? It's a never before seen match and we're going to see crazy levels of competition and things we've never seen before. It was epic. Now it doesn't matter who the fuck's playing. It's all the same crap. This is a good one. The time of Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 was the last era where you could watch a tournament and actually have a chance to see something you've never seen before. Stuff you didn't even know was possible. It was an amazing era. And again, why? Because now everything is put on the internet immediately. The meta is already spoiled. There's no reason for it because competitively it makes no sense to do it. If you know tech, keep the tech. Use it in a tournament for your advantage. Why would you give it to everyone? Why would you tell the secret of how to play something competitively to the world? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But these people do it. It's like there's morons. Hey, just give away the keys to the kingdom. And now the game is boring within a few months. Right? Like, here we go. Same, watching offline tournament streams to watch one person be a specialist with one character. Watch use Oni and Sagat. Zeus would use Vega. Sako would use Evil Ryu. Now you can run videos of 5 players using the same character. You could never guess who was using them outside of hit confirms. There you go. I mean, I can just keep going. All right? But the funny part is they're all saying, oh, here you go. Street Fighter 4 high-level tournaments were timeless. Now it's just throw loop and 50-50. Exactly right. You get to the corner, throw loop, 50-50 guess, throw loop, 50-50 guess. That's Street Fighter 6 in a nutshell now. It's awful. Okay, it really is awful. So there you go. And the funny part is, I say it about Street Fighter 2. Why do I say it about Street Fighter 2? Because that's the era I was around for. These guys are nostalgic about Street Fighter 4 because that was their nostalgic era. For those who don't know, Sanford is younger than me, and he didn't play the classics like I did. He got into it around the era of Marvel 2. So to him, the nostalgia factor is going to be starting around Marvel 2 through like Street Fighter 4. For me, it's Street Fighter 2. Do you see? So it's true. It's not just me saying it. People are agreeing. But because I said it, erase it, it doesn't matter because that's DSP saying it, right? So maybe what I should do is I should just take my takes and I should bring them to other people in the FGC and have them say them instead. Seriously. Maybe that's just what I should do. Don't say it myself in my own content. Instead, let's just have someone else say it and then they'll actually get traction and people will talk to them about it and believe them. Because this is a major problem with Street Fighter 6. 100%. The game's too easy to play. The game doesn't have any kind of skill check at all besides sitting in a lab for an hour practicing a combo or a strategy. Everyone is exposing the meta of every character within a few days. Therefore, everything is boring within a week or two. And no one, like I said, that's exactly what happened with Mai Shiranui. Oh, a new character. This is exciting. And people ran and played with her for a week. And then on week 2, everything was already exposed. By week 3, no one cared. Everyone's bored. We're on to other stuff. When's Elena coming out? That's not supposed to be the life cycle of a fighting game. There's supposed to be this entire time period where people are playing and learning and discovering for themselves. And then they try different strategies against each other in a competitive environment until finally, after weeks to months to years of arduous practice, people figure it out. Not, oh, we spoiled the whole game within hours of it being. Like, what are you doing, you fucking morons? You're ruining competitive gaming by doing that. You literally are. You've taken out all of the fun era. I just don't get it. I don't get why these people keep doing it. Anyway, Moritarian says, well, how would you fix the issue? Well, to be frank, there is a way to fix the issue. It's just that Capcom doesn't like it. Okay? Do you want to know the way to fix the issue? Make fighting games hard to play again. Make it so that you actually need to have skill to play a fighting game. Not that every character can be played in a silly easy mode pattern and you just need to memorize the pattern. But that's what they've become because they want to sell to a maximum audience, you see? In an era when moves were actually hard to pull off all the time, combos needed really tough frame-specific timing. Footsies were required to actually play a fighting game, right? You know, not this character can completely skip neutral, but instead you need to have knowledge of how to play with zoning and stuff like that. You know, make them hard to play again. Now, what'll happen is, immediately, 60% of the scrubby-ass bitches who can't play fighting games and only play them because they're easy mode will drop off. But the game will be good again. And now, tournaments will be fun. And now, people won't be able to spoil the meta in 5 seconds because guess what? It's too hard to pull off the meta. Like right now, there are top players in Super Turbo who are insanely good with T-Hawk. But guess what? T-Hawk's the hardest character in the game to play with. So unless you're insanely superbly good, you'll never win a tournament with T-Hawk. But people are doing it. It's just that it's hard to do. Right now, if you expose the meta of Street Fighter 6, it's super easy to do it with any character, so everyone could just do it and the game is boring. That's what they got to do. Bring back tough timing, execution, frame-specific moves, footsies, space, all the shit that's been removed for pattern, guessing, pattern, throw loop, 50-50, pattern. Get rid of it all. Bring it back to basics. Make it tough to play. Make it so that you have to get the fucking sweats to win a tough match instead of I just flowchart it. But then everyone will quit who's a scrub. But your game will be good. It's kind of like I've been saying all along. In the modern era, the people who are making new games aren't making them to make them good or meaningful. Like back in the day when a good video game came out, it was we want to make the most competitive game ever. We want to make the most artistic game ever, right? We want to make a memorable moment. Now it's just how do we sell the game? How do we make maximum profits? How do we make it that the game is played by everyone? Doesn't matter if the game's good, just make it addictive or catchy or easy. Then everyone will play it and we're rich. Well, that's great, but then you end up with Street Fighter 6. A fucking boring-ass game that plays exactly the same for everyone, that you get exposed within 2 to 3 weeks, everything's known, and everyone's just bored and just wants another character, and they don't put out enough content to really satisfy the audience. That's what you'll get. That's your end result. You dumbed it down to sell, and now the game sucks. It's Capcom's fault. There you go. Okay. All right, folks. I got some more